Hey everybody, this is Tony from Backwoods Brothers, and welcome to The Ridiculous. What does Jessie Smollett and Oprah Winfrey have in common? They are both Black Americans. They are both minority. One is a woman, and the other one's an LGBTQ gay gentleman. They're both celebrities. They both cried racism, but don't know what the hell they're talking about. Watch this.
Oprah Winfrey has said that she was a victim of racism after a shop attendant in Switzerland refused to serve her. The American chat show host, who is one of the richest women in the world, was told by a shop assistant in Zurich that the handbag she wanted to look at was too expensive for her.
And I go into a store, which shall remain unnamed, and I say to the woman, excuse me, may I see that bag right above your head? And she says to me, no. It's too expensive. And I said, no. See the black one, the one that's folded over and she said, no. You don't want to see that one. You want to see this one because that one will cost too much. You will not be able to.
Are getting really upset. And I said, it feels like she's making fun.
I really did want to see that one. And she refused to get it. She refused to get it. And she started to show me these other little bags, and I said. One more time I tried, I said, but I really do just really want to see that one. And she said, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
There she goes again.
I said, okay, thank you so much. You're probably right. I can't afford it. And I walked out of the store. Now, why did she do that?
The luxury shop has denied discrimination against the billionaire celebrity, but the misunderstanding down to a language barrier.
There can be no question of that. I welcome every customer, and every customer is viewed as a king. This has nothing to do with racism.
Yep.
I think it was rather a communications problem between the employee, who is actually Italian and who speaks Italian but also English, but just not as well as Mrs. Oprah.
The incident has caused a bit of a stir, and Switzerland's National Tourism Office has apologised to the staff.
An incident like this is actually very regrettable. Obviously, it is not correct.
Because you insulted
that can happen in a world-class Swiss-made city as Zurich is.
The bag in question was a $38,000 Jennifer purse designed by Tom Ford.
Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay.
I'm not suicidal.
Where in the world did that question come from? That he's answering that he's not suicidal? I don't hear that.
If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years.
Stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans over 400 years ago. Are you 400 years old?
And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
You did do it to yourself.
I respect you, Your Honor.
You did. Cognitive dissonance. Or just lying.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
We got that.
Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present right now?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Widow.
The defense would wish to present a motion to reconsider sentence and file it in stanter.
It is timely filed.
Thank you, Judge.
And let me say, I've obviously considered the sentence at great length. And it's timely filed, so it's preserved for purposes of appeal. Motion to reconsider sentence is respectfully denied.
Good job, Judge. Respectfully denied. See how many times he says that
Anything else?
before they get the message.
Is there going to be a notice of appeal filed?
Yes, Judge. We're filing a notice of appeal. We're going to be emailing to the clerk right now, to the office.
You doing it in stanter? And are you going to be handling the appeal?
Judge, as of now, yes.
Well, you have to commit to handling the appeal for the appellate court. Okay. All right. Notice of appeal may be filed. Charlotte, and now I need the prosecutors to work with Charlotte, the probation officer, to work out probation specifications with the conditions I just explained. 150 days.
I love this judge. He's emphatic,
and also
intentional,
statutory DNA
and sending a message.
As well. That's statutory. So you have to fill out the probation specifications, and I'm going to get somebody to help you do that, but we need to get that done in Stanter. Anything else today? Yes.
In light of the
Watch this, guys.
we would ask that you suspend the jail sentence in light of the
Do what?
filing of the notice.
Do what? He didn't believe it.
What?
Suspend the jail sentence in light of the notice of filing.
Are you shitting me? Really?
Denied.
Respectfully denied.
Yes, Mark.
Next case.
Listen to this. No, I'm not saying, no. The wheels of justice turn slowly, and sometimes the hammer of justice has to fall, and it's falling right here, right now.
The hammer of justice has to fall, and it's falling right here.
This happens right here, right now.
All right.
Charlotte?
They're trying hard, guys. Got to give them to them. Got to give it to them.
I'll talk to you about it. I'll give you this. Okay. All right. Any other matters to come before the court today? All right. Defendants remanded to the custody of sheriff. Court is adjourned.
Court is adjourned.
I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
That was his last Academy Award winning performance there. Listen to this, guys. You know what? I'm laughing. I'm going to come back to him. These are two very different cases. There are two celebrities that are saying the same thing. I want to talk about what racism is and what it's not. Oprah has no clue. That lady with a language barrier might have had just that. Her mindset of racism? How do you know that she had a mindset of racism? I'm going to come back to that. Listen to mindset of racism. I didn't know that Oprah was clairvoyant. That lady probably had no clue of who the hell you were, because despite possibly your belief, everybody's not interested in you. Being a celebrity, you should check in with how you're accusing or what you're accusing people of doing, because you could have possibly ruined that lady's business because of your celebrity entitlement. Have you considered maybe the lady's culture? Really? Her culture and her language barrier, which are pretty innocent to me, you could have actually villainized because of your accusation. Is that reverse racism? You're in a different country. Consider that. Jessie, you're the only one I know that gets thrown in jail for beating the hell out of yourself. Let's just think about that a little bit. We know you're not suicidal. We know that. You said that a couple of times. The lady said at the end to stop laughing so hard at a black man. You're the laughingstock of all black people. Stop staging your own fucking hate crime. You know, I'm going to say right here, because my last ridiculous, a lot of people who viewed that were crying that I was being insensitive. Well, let me be very sensitive here and let you know that whether you're LGBTQ or you may have some suicidal ideation, does not, and I feel for you, but does not entitle you to use the defense of staging a hate crime. That is not a defense. And as I said, Jessie, you are not 400 years old. But I hope your jail sentence lasts that long. Let me read you a definition of racism. It is a belief that a race is the primary dominant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. You do not read the minds of people. It is a belief system. And you cannot decide whether a person is racist or not in a flashpoint, Oprah. Let me give you another word that I want to capitalize on a little bit. A belief. It is a state or habit of the mind, underscore mind, in which trust or confidence is placed in some person or a thing. A belief, a state or habit of the mind. First of all, Oprah, I'll come back to you. Do you know this woman beyond a shadow of a doubt to cast a judgment on her because she thought you couldn't afford a purse? I ask you that question. Now I want to give a little bit of a personal experience. And actually there are 3 of them, and they're actually quite similar but very different. When you cast the word racism and throw it out there, you better be sure. Because if everybody's racist, no one's racist. I was called in Stanton, Virginia, as a 14-year-old, the N-word, with the hard N. I had no encounter with that ever before. I had it once. I can possibly say that gentleman who yelled as I was on the playground from his car, the N-word, I could possibly say that man had some racist beliefs. Here's another story. I was stopped by a police officer when I was in grad school in an upscale neighborhood that I happened to live in, walking back home. When I walked down one direction, I saw him come up the other direction and he turned around. He stopped his car. Now I had my cane in my hand. I also had a hoodie on, and I also did have some earphones in my ears. He asked me to stop, to which I stopped, to which he said, "You fit the description of someone who possibly broke into a home." Now, my first fleeting thought was maybe this was a stop because I was black. And it did hurt. And I gave a snide remark, and he let me go because I actually complied. When I got home, my lovely wife, who happens to be white, talked me deeply into the scenario to say, maybe it wasn't what you thought. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe I did fit that description. Maybe someone was posing as a blind person to cover up a crime that he had done. Not so far-fetched, maybe, because if Jessie Smollett can pull off theatrics like that, and Oprah can make fun of a lady's language like that and put on that performance, then perhaps I was performing too. You never know. And then last, I was told by a white friend that in a small town, a gentleman behind the counter at a convenience store did not like me because I possibly was black. This is what I did. And this is me wholeheartedly. I went to that man. I didn't go off of an assumption or what I've been told, but I went to that gentleman and I asked him this question. Did I do anything that could possibly offend you? Because that is not my heart. As a matter of fact, I was a pastor in the town. So it was very important to me to hold a dignified rapport and not get into my head and draw some conclusions. To which he answered, if there was a problem with you, you would have known about it. Some might consider that a snarky answer. I consider that an honest answer. To which, days after days after days that I saw him around this small town, he approached me, addressed me by name, and he said, "How are you doing?" It opened up a door of conversation. Right then and there, I learned not to go off of my assumptions, which led me to have a show like this one, with my best friend. Because I didn't make assumptions. So my point here is assumptions make an ass out of you and me. Stop weaponizing the word racism. If everyone's racist, no one's racist. Watch or see this last post and listen to the reading of it.
Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me, Tony, and welcome to the Ridiculous.